Welcome to the Acritical Podcast. I am Andy, and I'm here with my co-host Andrew. We're a bunch of idiots, and we're here to talk about some political and news. What are we talking about today, Andrew?
We're talking about Labor's HAF bill, and not a lot of
HAF.
liberal stuff because they've kind of been quiet ever since Dutto did a whole bunch of shit.
What shit was he doing?
Because there was that thing that came out that he knew about this guy who had fraud or was a con artist or some shit, and then he got a government contract and he knew about it.
Oh,
Yeah, he wasn't the one in charge of authorizing it, and he just gave him the contract anyway.
good old facelift Dutto.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Well, I mean, he's pretty much all he's been saying lately is no.
He just says no to everything.
Yeah,
And I'm kind of like, he's just building a reputation on being no. That's it.
yeah. It's like LMP. What do you think about this? No.
No.
Should Aboriginal Australians be recognised in the Constitution? No. Should people have affordable housing? No.
Yeah.
Should we go to war? Yes.
Yes. That's pretty much it. He wants to go to war with China.
I don't understand why everyone wants to fucking hate China and go to war to them, because they're one of our biggest trade partners.
One of the biggest.
We need them for making pretty much everything. Capitalism doesn't work without China.
Well,
Capitalism doesn't work without exploiting South Asian countries.
No, exactly. It doesn't work without exploiting some workforce in some capacity, like some cheap workforce that produces massive amounts of goods.
If you want iPhones, you've got to still be okay with China, because those little Chinese hands are what are making your iPhones and your Samsungs and everything else.
Exactly. And, you know, like, our economy is completely dependent on China functioning well. That's like why everybody's celebrating the fact that, oh, China's economy is shit. Okay, but what about the rest of us that are going to fucking fail who depend on Australia's economy?
We work off the US dollar, and everything cheap comes from China.
Yeah.
So, well, not even everything cheap, just everything comes from China or Indonesia or...
Well, it's just manufacturing, really.
Yeah, because if you manufactured in Australia, you'd actually have to pay your workers a livable wage.
Yeah.
If you manufacture somewhere else, you can pay your workers 50 cents a day or some shit.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, you know...
Doesn't
The fear mongering on China doesn't make any sense to me, just because it doesn't. The nothing works without it.
No.
That's just the current political climate. Unless everyone switches from capitalism, it won't fucking work.
Like, can you imagine if someone was like, internal affairs, like, I don't want to work with China because they're socialists. And it's like, can you imagine if someone like China or anybody like Indonesia was like, I don't want to work with America until they fix their policing issue, until they fix their abortion issue. Like, I don't want to work.
Yeah,
with
no.
them.
It's like, and people who say, "Oh, globalists," it's the global. Yeah, we're a global economy.
Yeah.
Like,
Welcome to the world, motherfucker.
yeah, welcome to the world. Open your eyes. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not globalists. It's everyone.
It's everyone.
Business needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like, if you want everything to keep functioning, that's how it works.
Well, we don't get our bread from a bakery anymore. Like, fuck.
I do.
Well, not everybody does. Not everybody does.
Okay, so what are we doing? We're talking about HAF.
Yeah, HAF.
What does HAF stand for?
What is the details of HAF? What is it?
Housing Affordability Future Fund.
Affordability Future Fund.
Yeah. So what did it? So HAF has been introduced to the Parliament, got knocked down in the Senate, and Labor has reintroduced it into the lower house. They have the numbers to push it through the lower house, but the upper house, they don't have the numbers. LNP are just saying no.
Because they will just say no to it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like,
So,
okay, whatever.
We have to have crossbenchers. Well, not we, but crossbenchers and the Greens and everyone have to agree to it, or it'll get knocked back down again.
Yeah.
And Albanese is threatening a double dissolution, which I don't think he is in the strongest position to do that yet.
No, definitely not. Like, he has a good... Like, he will be fine.
I don't even know that.
I think he will be fine because he has the best polling out of the two major parties.
Yeah,
But the thing is,
they're going to lose. They're going to lose to
polling-
Teals and Greens.
Yeah. I don't think the majority of the seats are polling that well.
But if he sends Australians back to the polls, they're going to vote him out.
Yeah.
Purely for that fact that because then they'll have to vote again. They don't want to vote again.
No, and because there's a preference both like system, and because, you know, most Australians, they'll just vote for the other guy. They don't
Yeah.
know anything about him because we have to go vote.
Yeah, well, they might not even vote LNP rather than Labor. They might vote Greens or Independents because they might still be Labor at heart, but they might be fuck Labor.
Well, I'm just thinking about the
I'll just
average
vote something
person that's
else.
not even like interested in politics, that has
Yeah.
no idea who they are.
Yeah, well, they go, well, Labor screwed me. And see, the issue is Labor still haven't. Labor got handed a poop sandwich by the LNP because they screwed us for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then Labor had a poop sandwich and they've made a toasted poop sandwich, which I
Yeah.
guess is a little better than a poop sandwich, but it's not any better.
But
and
I think
and then they'll send people back to the polls too early. Labor haven't done enough.
no, they haven't. But
Because
I think there's
the economy's gone to the toilet, inflation's gone up and everything. The news is spouting anti-Labor sentiment. So if we go back to the polls now, LNP are in.
oh yeah,
Easy
Oh, yeah.
peasy.
and it's because they haven't gone back to actually doing anything.
No.
Like you could go, oh well, the economy's in shambles. We can't do anything that can push inflation. But the thing is, though, is that you have all these access to think tanks. You have all these different access to things that say, okay, but you could do other things that won't affect inflation that will actually help the average person, like actually help with like fund Medicare, actually fund things that actually people need, and then that will lower the average cost of living, and just help with this inflationary pressure. But it's not actually doing anything.
Look, when Labor got in, Albo came out and he said, we're not going to make any exceptions. We're not going to do any deals. We've got a majority in the House. We're just going to power through. We don't have a majority in the Senate. So what are you doing, Albo? You got to make deals.
Yeah.
Like his policy of no bending has to change. Like
Yeah.
I get that's what he ran on, and he doesn't want to be the guy who like
You can see that a lot in his interviews at the
changes.
moment. Like there was
But the thing is he has to, if he wants to have to get through, he has to fucking bend. He has to bend to the Greens.
oh yeah, yeah.
Or bend to the LNP. What do they want? Are they just saying no because it's Labor, or do they want like deals for homeowners or deals for more investment or something?
It's just like that Key and Peele sketch where it's like Obama's sitting with these bunch of Republicans and he's saying the opposite of what's good, what he wants,
Mm.
and then like they're just disagreeing with him, and then
Yeah, but like he has to start making deals to get things through the Senate, or it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The Greens have outright said no.
Yeah.
We want something to happen. We want something now. So that the Housing Affordability Fund, the idea is that they take this billions of dollars,
$10 billion. Yeah.
$10 billion, and they put it into an investment, and then that pays dividends, and then you use those dividends to build affordable housing.
Yeah, and it's just
Now,
based on whether or not you get returns.
In theory, that's great, because if they set this up, the next government that's in, whether it's LNP, Greens, Labor, it'll be there.
Yeah.
So they're setting it up for the future, which is great. But by putting $10 million into an investment, you have to wait to get returns to then build
Yeah.
these houses. Houses take what? 12 months plus to build?
100%.
We're in a housing crisis now. So what the Greens are saying is put some money in now to build some houses now.
Well, a lot of houses now, really.
But the
housing stock is just completely shrunk, especially with social housing. Like if you look at the amount of people on disability and that in dire need of help that need this housing, like, I mean, there's even domestic housing shortage at the moment.
there's no houses at
There's
all.
no housing at all for people that are in dire need of it. And then normally that would be... Go away, truck.
Start that again.
And, normally in domestic housing situations, they're in dire need, and that's usually where social housing and public housing fills that gap.
Yeah. So I think the Greens need to let go of this rent freeze idea and just go for the money. Because while a rent freeze would be great, right? I'd love a rent freeze. Everyone would love a rent freeze.
I
The
think,
thing is that, 90% of the parliament own investment properties?
yeah,
Why would they screw themselves?
no, they wouldn't. Well, I mean, majority would. But the thing is, though,
Investment properties are meant to, like, the safest investment you can do, apparently. So why would they make their investments unsafe?
I don't agree with the rent freeze in the ways that I don't think it will actively do anything now. Because
Yeah.
at the same point, you go,
The price is already high
the
enough.
price is already high. I don't want to pay $500, $600 a week
For a
for a
two-bedroom.
two-bedroom house,
Not in the city.
not in the city.
In the middle of nowhere.
An hour from the city.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Toowoomba. The average rental in Toowoomba is fucking $500 a week
Mm.
for a 3-bedroom house. That's ridiculous. All the way in Toowoomba. Who the fuck lives there?
People who work and
People
live
who
in
work
Toowoomba.
and live in Toowoomba. But the thing is, though, who the fuck lives in Toowoomba?
Well, not you anymore.
Not me anymore. No.
It's a yeah, it's so Greens are saying we want to negotiate. Labor's saying we don't want to negotiate. The Greens are asking for things that Labor's never going to push through. The LNP will vehemently
They used to push that through.
the LNP will vehemently be against rent freezes 100%, and they'll be against giving poors money, even though their largest voter base is the poors.
Yeah.
They'll, neither side is budging, and it's become this kind of media debacle
Oh, it's
where they're all getting on the TV and yelling at each other, and then they're getting in the House and they're yelling at each other, and they're getting in the Senate and they're yelling at each other. And what they're forgetting is that all of their egos and all this bullshit that they're spouting on about is not helping the average person.
Oh, no.
Like, I get politicians say they don't get paid enough, but they get paid enough that they don't have to worry about rent,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Do they say they don't get paid enough? Oh,
Well,
yeah. There was
they
that, there was
ask
that
for pay
one
rises.
There was that one in Tasmania that was
Yeah.
like, I don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with
They
you?
get their flights covered. They get their accommodation covered.
You get everything
They get their food.
subsidized.
They get their food covered. They have their own bar. They have their own restaurant.
Yeah, fucking, what's his face knows that? Fucking little fucking slobby knobby.
Slobby Nobby, Barnaby.
Barnaby, that's it.
They
I'm a bit slobby knobby right now.
allegedly
Yeah, allegedly.
and then they get paid over 3 figures. Like, I mean, that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, who's the housing representative for the Greens? He's from Brisbane.
Max Chandler.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's renting
Yeah.
when he's renting as a politician, and I'm sure he'll buy a house soon or something. But, like, where's Adam Bant?
I think
He hasn't said shit on this.
he hasn't said shit on the housing, which is
I
like,
wonder if it's because he owns 20 investment properties.
I don't think it's 20.
How many investment properties? God, my fucking fingers are so fat. Tees does Adam Lambert, no, Band, own? The private interests of Adam Bant, Open Politics. I've never heard of this website.
What? What's the website's name?
The private openpolitics.au.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? I was like, is the
Okay,
website
so
actually
Adam Bant has 26 total interests. This is pretty good that you know. He has 1 shareholdings, 2 real estates, 2 liabilities, 3 saving or investment accounts, 3 other assets, 1 other income, 10 gifts, 3 travel or hospitality, and 1 memberships.
I mean, 2 real estates isn't that much though.
No. Well, that's... he's got 2 houses in Flemington. Wow, this is crazy that you can look this up.
You can look up anybody.
Liabilities. 2 mortgages.
I mean,
Damn, I thought he would be greasier than that, coming from Melbourne.
no. You know, unfortunately, all the
Uh,
Greens are.
Okay, details of gifts. So he was gifted Qantas Chairman's Lounge membership, Virgin Club membership, occasional upgrades from economy to business class in Virgin, other gifts as per previous declarations in prior parliaments, occasional upgrades from economy to business class in Qantas.
Okay, yeah, this is not much.
Electorate office provided with complimentary television subscription by Australian Subscription Television and Radio Association.
That's not much at all.
And his partner's been upgraded on all their flights as well.
Because honestly, I've been in business class before. It's all right.
Man, I thought he'd be greasier. Been in politics that long. I guess he is a greenie.
He's a greenie.
Okay, well,
you have to kind
hang
of stand
on.
up by your
Hang
thing.
on. Let's. I want to subscribe to
You
it.
should look at
It's asking me to subscribe. It won't let me search unless I subscribe. Go away.
Go away. Look for Dutto. What does Dutto look at?
Let me just go to Open Politics. Let me search. Is there a search up? Yes, search. This is openpolitics.au if you want to do this. Peter Dutton.
I sometimes forget his name
Go.
is Peter.
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 Not finding Peter Dutton.
Why not?
Dutton. Oh, you got to search Dutton Peter.
Dutton Peter. Fucking Dutton.
Comes up with 2.
Comes up with 2.
Oh, this is the
Dos.
boy. Oh, he was so not cute when he was younger.
No, he was very much. Well, I mean, he used to be a cop. So.
Whoa. He's only got 1 real estate investment.
Really? Oh, to be fair, he owns a bunch of childcare or something, doesn't he? It'd probably be under other or something like that.
Other assets. Nope. Life insurance, furniture, tractor, motor vehicle. He owns a tractor.
He owns a tractor. Doesn't he live north of Brisbane?
He's got, I don't know, he's got
You know what? I bet he's driving.
He's got a bank account with Westpac, QBank, NAB, and CBA.
What?
4 different banks.
Why does he have 4 different bank accounts?
He's got a credit facility. That's his liability.
What?
Oh, it was deleted last year.
What, just after the election?
Uh,
Just after he became
22nd of the 12th, 22.
leader of the Liberal Party?
No. He had an investment property in Townsville, but it's gone. And he has a residential property in Dayborough.
Damn, bro.
Thought
Thought
so
he'd
he
be
used
greasier.
to have an investment property.
I thought he'd be greasier because
I swore most of the parliament had investment property.
he was there.
Fucking Adam Bant has more investment properties than Peter Dutton.
That's fucking weird.
How many Australian? This is really professional. Just googling stuff.
Google.
How many Australian
Google.
politicians are Indigenous? No, have investment properties. There we go.
There you go. I'm pretty sure the top one is a Labor senator, I believe. Unfortunately.
86% of federal politicians own at least 1 residential property, higher than 67% of Australians who own higher than 60% of 60 blah, 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 higher than the 67% of Australians who own property as per the 2021 census data.
Wait, 67% of Australians own a home.
No. So 86% of federal politicians own at least 1 residential property.
Yeah.
So that's not even investment properties. That's just own 1 property.
Yeah.
Which is higher than 67% of Australians who own a property.
Only 67.
Only 86% of our politicians own property.
Only? Are you saying only?
About 86% of federal politicians own at least 1 residential property. 67% of Australians own property.
Yeah. I think
As of
crazy.
2021.
That's crazy though as well.
86%? I thought they'd all own a property, to be honest. But I guess if you're in for 1 term, then you get booted.
Yeah. I don't know, but also like only just over half of Australians own their own home.
Yeah. Average wage of a Australian
Well, how many investment properties does the politicians own?
federal politician. You know, you can fucking Google stuff.
No, I don't want to Google stuff because then both of us are going to be quiet.
Politician. All right. How's that federal? If you're giving me premiers, you idiot. What's the pause? Oh, an Australian senator makes $211,000 a year.
44% of federal politicians own at least one investment property, 20% own at least two, and 8% own 3 or more investment properties.
Damn, that's not a lot.
Still 44% though.
Own one investment property.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think if
you own one.
so like the negative gearing, right, that they introduced to encourage people to buy investment properties, I think that's fine as long as you own one.
Yeah.
But the second you get over one, the negative gearing shouldn't work.
No.
Because then you're just doing it for government money, to be honest.
Well, that's what a lot of people, like, if you talk about actual action on the Greens part, like we want rent freeze, but it's just kind of like a, I don't know, like a,
if they got rid of
socialist revisionist kind of being like, oh, if we freeze rents, like that'll help people. But the thing is, though, is that people need actual regulation into housing. Like,
yeah, and if you freeze rents for 2 years, right, people are just going to get comfortable in paying that, and then in 2 years, everyone's going to go, well, you didn't pay the exorbitant amount for 2 years, so we're going to increase it by $200.
Yeah, exactly. Because, house prices, they're not doing anything about house prices rising. So when house prices rise,
I think assets should depreciate. Physical assets should depreciate.
They should.
So, like, if I buy something for my business, it's a physical asset, it will depreciate in value until I replace it.
But a house won't.
But a house won't. A house will
even a house
generally increase
built in the 1950s
unless it's become demonstrably awful. But then again, they're selling shacks for fucking $250,000.
They're selling shacks for $1 million.
Ugh.
Like, it's just ridiculous. And you kind of wonder at which point you're like, am I going to own a home? Probably not.
So, yeah. So, like, the saying, like 5 or 6 years ago was, oh, I'd love to win $1 million. It's like, yeah, if you want $1 million now, what? You buy a house. You buy one house, right?
Pay off a car.
Pay off your car, buy a new car, maybe not a big car, but an okay car.
Yeah, because most cars, good cars now, like
because then
$100,000.
Because then you've got to keep the upkeep.
Yeah.
So, like, say you buy like what, $600,000-$700,000 house, like a nice house.
Yeah.
What's your rate's going to be on that like $2,000, $3,000?
Yeah.
Every 6 months.
Yeah.
So you have to have a nice job to do that. You can't quit your job with $1 million.
No. So
what? Let's say you get a reasonably nice house on the outside of the city with 2 acres. So let's say like 750.
How far is outside the city?
Oh, 45 minutes, hour drive.
Hour drive.
Yeah. But you got a decent house, you got a pool, you got a shed.
So an hour out of the city is different for people from Sydney and Melbourne.
Yeah.
Probably like 2 hours out of the city for them.
Yeah. Let's just say Queensland. All right.
We'll say Queensland. Out of Brisbane.
So you buy out of Brisbane, say you buy Ipswich. You buy a nice house on a bit of land.
Out Rosewood.
Yeah, maybe out Rosewood.
Rosewood's nice.
No, you can get a little bit of land just outside Ipswich.
You can do, but they don't really sell a lot of them.
Yeah, but you can get a little bit of land just outside Brisbane. But like you get like an acre, you have a shed, you have a pool, 4 bedrooms, 750. I think that's reasonable. Probably not reasonable anymore.
No.
Or like in a week's time, that'll be like, oh, that's $1 million home.
No.
So you spend 750, right? You get yourself you pay off your car. Say you owe 10 grand on your car. Pay off your car.
Yeah.
Maybe buy a new car. Let's say 45,000. You get a decent. Might get like a Kia Sportage or something.
Yeah.
You and the kids. Maybe you get the missus a car.
Sportage.
Or you get another car that, say 2 cars, 100 grand. You got the upkeep of those cars. So you're up to like 850.
Yeah.
900,000. Well, you're an educated man. You went to uni, didn't you? How much is uni debt? 50, 60, 70? Maybe uni debt's, say, let's be reasonable. You paid, 45,000 for your uni debt. It's gone up 10 grand in the last couple of years. So 55,000 for your uni debt gone. There you go.
Mine went up by 2 grand just off this index figure alone.
Mine went 4,900.
I was like,
I'm over 60K now.
Mine went just up to 30 grand, but I was like, I'm obviously paying it off. But I was like, what the fuck?
I owe 62,000. I don't make a dint in it ever.
No.
I make the payment, but they've already indexed me off of the
But
indexed
see, that's
amount
also the other bullshit. Why do they index it after you make the payment?
before you make
Before you make the payment.
because they want more money.
It's like, why?
Yeah. Okay, so that's another topic for another day. Okay, so you got what? Let's say, let's be beneficial. You got 50 to 100K left from your million. You've got a house, you got new cars. That's it.
That's it.
Maybe you go on a holiday, you go on a nice holiday.
Go to France.
Yeah. I think, 20, 30 grand to get you a nice holiday to Europe.
Yeah.
Maybe hit Europe, UK, bit of Asia. That's done.
Yeah.
You'd be telling your kids, I want $1 million. And they'd be like, sure, Dad.
Where is it?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Where's my inheritance?
Yeah.
You could do the smart option. You could use some of it for a house deposit, pay a mortgage,
Yeah. But
pay
then you got bills for the house deposit.
put 100K in each kid's bank account so they don't have uni debt. Maybe you have other debts. Maybe you already own a house, but you're paying your mortgage, so you pay the rest of your mortgage off. That's less.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe you don't want a new car. Maybe you wanted that, that Toyota Ute from 2016 or something.
I do.
Maybe you do that. Maybe you get a maybe you landscape the yard, increase the value of your house. Maybe you put a pool in. Maybe
I love when people they'll landscape a garden and they'll go, that's going to increase the property price by $100,000.
Nope. No one cares what plants you put in, Deborah.
Well, that's like when you moved into that one house that you moved into just for the tree that was in the backyard, really nice, and then they cut down the tree just before you moved in.
There was no aircon and no ceiling fans in the house.
Yeah.
And when we looked at the house, there was this giant tree in the back that shaded the whole house. And we were like, that's sick. You don't need an aircon. You don't need the...
My wife's going to bring us some Coke. Oh, thank you.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Well, no, this isn't brand Coke. This is cola.
Cola, no sugar. Anyways.
I got the cola with sugar.
Yeah, so the house shaded, the tree shaded the whole house. It was beautiful. And I moved in and they cut the tree down. So the house was hot as shit.
Like in hot in summer and cold winter.
And it was in the expensive part of town. So I was already paying too much for a 2-bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was in the nice neighborhood.
Well, can you imagine back then? It was like you're paying $340,
$350.
$350 for a
350 a week
three-bedroom house
for a
and we're
2-bedroom.
can you imagine paying that now for a 3-bedroom house?
2-bedroom.
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 It's 2-bedroom.
2-bedroom, 2-bath, big kitchen, big lounge room, whole under the house section for all my tools, double carport, huge backyard in the nice neighborhood. The houses next to me were selling for millions. I could walk my dog down the street and not worry about getting stabbed.
You know the house that was down the road from there?
But I left there because $350 was too expensive. And then I ended up getting pushed out of the market because they wanted me to pay $450 for a 3-bedroom duplex in the shit bit of town where we almost got robbed several times. People would throw shit into my yard, scratch my car.
Yeah.
They wanted me to pay $450 for that dog shit place.
Yeah. Well, I pay $465 now.
Yeah, for a little townhouse.
For a little townhouse right here.
Barely anywhere to park.
Yeah.
No grass.
No grass. No backyard. We just got a little patio.
Well, that's where we are now.
The
on the
main
patio.
roads right now being
Vroom,
very,
vroom.
very noisy.
Well, it's the main road. I mean, I like recording outside.
Like, I don't like being homeless, but the thing is, though, is that...
Well, I'm living with an 82-year-old man who's super grumpy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not very nice.
You know, it's better than our situation where it was friggin' white trash domestic abuse.
Yeah, well, I mean, you lived at that little duplex with me for a couple of weeks till
Yeah.
you got this place. It was a month or 2.
It was 3 weeks.
All of us crammed into one house.
Yeah. We liked it, though. It was like being roommates, like back when we were 20.
Back when you lost your first house.
Yeah. No, I didn't lost the first house. Broke up with an ex.
Ex machina.
Ex machina.
Anyways, back to this housing bill. I have no solutions
No,
because the
I
thing
don't think
is,
anybody has any solutions. I
thing
think
is,
it's just like concessions that people make to
they just need to make a deal.
look good politically.
Like Bill Shorten ran on getting rid of the negative gearing, and all of the working class property owners who are like, "Don't take away my second income. I work hard for that."
Which is,
Didn't vote with him.
you know what's really fucking stupid?
What?
Because you know how my in-laws owned an investment property. They owned that one we lived at for a little bit in Camira. They did not use net gearing at all.
Negative gearing.
They didn't use it
Why?
because they didn't know it existed.
Oh my god.
Because and they have an accountant that handles all their tax things. They knew they had an investment property. They didn't do anything to help them.
That's just a bad accountant.
That's just a bad accountant. But also at the same time, it's not advertised to the average working class person, I don't think.
No. It's rich people who know rich
It's a rich
things.
people thing. It's rich people who knows rich people scams.
But yeah, it's the people who say, I'm a property owner, so I'm a hard worker. I own 6 investment properties, and that's my job. Well, you never answer a fucking email on time.
Don't fix the mold out of the ceiling.
No, you don't. I asked for a dishwasher because it broke, and it took me 2 months to get an answer from you.
Or it's like to replace like an oven light.
Yeah,
something
I
like
just did
that.
it
It's like-
myself. I ended up just doing it myself. And then they'd complain when I'd do things myself, and I'd be like, well, it's either I fix it now, or
It just doesn't get done.
I wait for you to reply 3 months later. If I didn't reply to something 3 months later at my job, I'd be fired.
Well, to be fair, it's better than the house that I had up in Toowoomba where I lived there the entire 12 months living there. Front door that didn't work.
Yeah.
Back door that didn't lock.
Bathroom that had no ventilation.
Bathroom that had no ventilation. Both bathrooms had no ventilation.
The bathroom was in the middle of the house and didn't have a vent.
It had a window to the back sunroom.
It had a window to a room.
to a room, and that was it.
It didn't have a window outside,
No,
and it didn't have a vent.
it didn't have a vent or anything like that. And I was like, what the fuck is this? We could only lock the back screen door, and then for the last 3 months living there, it was broken.
Yeah, and then
Couldn't
when you
lock it.
asked for things to get fixed, what'd they say? Oh, we're going to terminate the lease.
Oh no, we'll send a tradie over, and we'll make a big list.
Mm.
And then they sent 3 tradies over to make a big list. Every single time they sent an email saying, fix this, and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah, they probably got the list on their fridge. To do.
To do, fix
To
house,
do.
knock down.
Yeah.
It's
fix
still up.
house.
They said they would knock down the house after we moved out because that's the reason why.
Mm.
And it's still standing.
Oh, well, it's probably just like council stuff and not doing it and never getting around to it.
Never getting around to it.
It just, yeah, so Bill Shorten ran on getting rid of negative gearing, and all the working class investment owners rose up. Why would we vote Labor if they're taking away our income? That shouldn't be your income. It should be an investment. Investments shouldn't be safe.
No, they're not.
If property is the safest investment, that's why everyone does it.
Yeah.
But if your investment, and they say, oh, well, renters come in and they trash the place and they ruin it. And
Fuck,
that's why you get insurance.
every landlord says that though.
It's how many
every
landlords have had a
landlord says
bad
that.
tenant?
How many landlords have bad tenant, but how many fucking tenants have had a horrible landlord?
I don't think I've really had a great landlord. I've had great real estate agents that looked after me.
I haven't.
But then I've also had dog shit real estate agents. My last real estate company, I went through 5 different property managers because they kept leaving the company.
Yeah.
By the end of it, I didn't even know who to email. So I'd email someone and get an email from someone else being cranky that I emailed someone else. And then they didn't get back to me about my bond. I ended up having to email them and say, hey, you need to approve my bond because it's been 2 weeks since I've moved out. You haven't said anything. So I want my bond back.
Yeah.
You haven't given me any time to fix anything that you might have wanted fixed. That house was spotless. It was cleaner than when I moved in. When I moved in, there were shit stains on the carpet. The walls were
It
stained.
smelled like piss.
Yeah, it was disgusting when I moved in. The lawn was knee high, full of prickles.
Yeah.
And I left that place. The lawn was mint. The house was spotless. Didn't smell like piss. They didn't get back to me for 2 weeks. And I had to say to them, I said, hey, you need to do this ASAP or I'm taking it to someone
Yeah.
and this is going to be a bigger issue than you fucking need. And then they never got back to me. They just approved it. And that was it.
Yeah.
They never even sent me my final water bill.
No. Didn't they?
No. I said, where's the water bill? Never replied to my email.
Oh, well, I guess.
Well, if they
Hopefully
ever
that
come
doesn't go
back and
through.
they're like, oh, you never paid the water bill, I'll be like, you never sent it to me. I asked for it
Yeah.
because I want to pay it so I don't have to fucking deal with it
I
later
really
on.
wonder sometimes. Like, I know it's their job, and you're always gonna have people that are just bad at their job anyway. But there's so many fucking real estate agents that are so
Oh.
chuffed to like
Well,
deep throat a landlord's cock.
someone was talking to landlords and they said, oh, we didn't actually want to raise the rental prices. Like, we didn't need to, but the real estate said, hey, you can get this.
Yeah, it's like, well, just don't accept it. And I like a landlord. It's like, we're not all bad,
No.
but the thing is, though, okay, well, act like a good person.
Yeah, I saw this video the other
Have
day.
some solidarity with your tenants.
And it was every time you increase the rent, you should add something to the property. So every time you increase the rent, put an additional aircon in, or
Put an elevator.
put it an elevator. No. Put a new aircon in.
If you're in an apartment complex, you can have an elevator.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about just an average investment property, just a house, not a fucking apartment building.
It's an investment property.
Shut up. Put a new oven in. You know, put new fixings, new door handles. Put some new carpet in the bedroom. Oh, the tenant, accidentally burnt the carpet with a hair straightener. You know what? I'll just replace the carpet in that bedroom. Increase the rent, but do something nice for them, and you'll have happier tenants. And I was like, you know what? I would have been happier if they increased the rent, but they put a new oven in and another aircon.
Yeah.
If they said, hey, we're going to increase the rent by $50 a week, I'm fuming, right? And then they say, but we're going to put an aircon in the bedroom. We're going to replace that ratty old carpet. I'd be like, all right, I'll sign on for another 6 months.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing bare minimum things. Like,
yeah, but I guess you could say that $50 is gonna pay off those carpets and that oven very quickly after.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, we're going to increase the rent, but
But then would you say, are they gonna lower it after the 6 months?
no. Well, every time I've had a real estate ask me, they'll be like, hey, we want to raise the price. I've always said, halve it. So like one place they said, oh, we're going to increase the rent by $40. I said, how about 20? And they said, we don't know. I said, well, ask the landlord. Don't you make the decision. Ask the landlord. Say, hey, their counter offer is 20 a week. And then if they're okay with that, then yeah. And then if the landlord comes back and says, no, I want $40 a week, I'll say, okay, well, give them a list of things that need fixing. I said, this needs fixing, that needs fixing, this needs fixing. This has always been broken the whole time I'm here. And then they usually come back and say, oh yeah, we'll do the 20 a week. Because they don't want to fix it.
Yeah, that's true. Or they'll just kick you out. Or they'll just go, no.
Well, they
40.
can't kick you out until the end of the lease.
Well, I can tell you what they can do. They wait till your 2 months is just about to reach 2 months. Say, we're going to terminate your lease with no grounds, because that's what they can legally do in Queensland. And then they just won't have you in
What,
there.
with 2 weeks left on the
2
lease?
months.
2 months left on the rent.
Yep.
They can't do that.
They did that to me up in Toowoomba. That's legal. That's
What, with
legal right
2
now.
months.
That's legal right now.
Show me.
No grounds evictions. You need 2 months' notice.
Yeah, but 2 months, that's 2 months notice, not you're out now. That's you're out in 2 months.
Yeah, that's you're out in 2 months, but you're going to find a place in 2 months at the moment?
No, there's tents.
Apparently.
Well, caravan parks are fucking booked out.
Yeah.
All the free camping spots are all full. And those are meant to be like 2-night max.
2 months. So without grounds, no reason, and a fixed term agreement, 2 months or the end of the agreement, whichever is later.
But you can
So if
you can dispute that. You can go to the RTA.
yeah, you can, but then who's protected more out of it?
Yeah, but if you go to the RTA and say, "Hey, I've asked for them to fix things, and they've decided to just terminate the contract," you know, well, the rent increase is meant to be a negotiation. You're allowed to say no.
You're allowed to say no, but the thing is, who has more power out of it?
Yeah, but your agreement says this price. They're trying to change the agreement. I think people are too scared to say no.
I mean, yeah, because the thing is though, is you say no, it's a lot of the time it is 2 months notice. Here's your 2 months notice. Time to get out. Get down.
Get down, cat boy, lady.
Goddamn cat.
Was it cat?
And like I know it's like, oh, you can do this, but the thing is though, is that most of the time they just kick him out because they can't find someone else, and you will hear thousands of stories about that.
I just think some people are too scared to say something.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like you got to like.
But
like
the thing
these
is,
people
though, is
that
even there are people that have said something, and it's always the same story: is they said no and then kicked me out.
I mean, it's also the way you say it. Like you can't be like, "I know my rights." You've got to be like, "Hey, can we discuss this?"
Most of these people have been doing it for been nice, but like at the same point, like that was up in Toowoomba where they didn't fix anything, and they got to the end of it, and they're like, "Okay, you need to provide a bond clean, and they're like, oh, and then you might get your bond back." And I'm like, fuck no. For one, you didn't fix the front door, and I think I was looking at the tenancy actual guidelines, and they broke a lot of the guidelines. Because I mean, if you have two non-functioning front doors,
yeah, if you can find that they're breaking the rules, then you just slap them with that.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that it's going to court. It's going to court or going to whatever it is to go fight about it. But the thing is,
most of them will give up before it goes to court. Most of them will.
Most of them might, but then you're still not going to be able to really have a home by the end of it.
I feel like in this day and age, you just got to roll the dice. Like if you're facing homelessness, right? Yeah, landlord sucks.
Rent should be only 30% of the median income.
Well, what's the median income? 90,000, isn't it?
No, that's the average income.
Median salary,
income.
Australia.
It's like 50,000 or something.
Median hourly earnings is $37 per hour.
Man, that'd be nice to be on 37.
Australia's median salary is 79,800. So let's just say 80,000. 30% of 80,000. 1, 2, 3. Do you do that? You type 80 and then go 1, 2, 3 for the zeros? Or is that just me?
No, it's you. Weirdo.
What is 30% of 80,000? 24,000.
Was it divided by 52? So 24,000 a year.
1,000 divided by 52 is $460 a week.
Fuck, I'm paying that now.
Yeah, so that is.
So
you're right.
Only if I was on that.
You're right, idiot. What's the average household? 2 parents, 2 kids?
2 parents, 2 kids, yeah.
So a 3-bedroom.
To be fair, I think if it goes off the average salary and then an average household, maybe like 100,000. Because if you're on 45,000 to 50,000 each.
Well, that's not very. Yeah, but the thing is, right, is like.
But it's still not affordable.
This day and age, both partners have to work, really.
Yeah, they do.
So then, if you both work, right, you both get paid the median wage, which is 80,000.
Yeah. That
puts you over the subsidy amount for childcare. So then you pay full price childcare.
Dude, that's fucking expensive.
And then you pay for.
That's $80.
Say you have like 2 kids, you pay full price childcare for 2 kids because you both have to work.
And because public schools aren't funded, you got to put them in private school.
And you put them in private schools because public schools suck and you want your kids to have a good future. And most of the thing about private school is networking because then you're sending your kids to the same school as the rich kids, so then they're friends with the rich kids and the rich kids can get them jobs.
Yep.
So then how much is tuition at a private school?
It's like average like $7,000 a year.
Yeah. That's cheap.
That's cheap. Yeah, that's average. Because the one that we...
Average cost of private school, Queensland. Let's say Queensland.
Well, there's St. Joseph's.
Brisbane Grammar
Up in
will
Toowoomba,
charge
that was
30,000 a
2,900.
year. Girls Grammar 28,000. Boys College 27,000. If you earn $80,000 a year, you're paying nearly a half of your fucking wage in tuition if you send them to a primo school.
Over in Springfield, there's St. Augustine.
Mm.
That's 8,000 for
Yeah.
grade 12.
Yeah, so like send them to a cheap private school.
Pretty much.
Well, that's not the networking opportunity they need. If you're going to send them to a pretty cheap private school, just send them to a fucking public school.
Yeah, but then at least they're in the boys' club then.
In the boys' club.
They won't be alone.
Yuck. I don't see what's wrong with public school. I went to public school.
No.
Maybe that is what's wrong with public school, is that I don't see what was wrong with it because
Yeah.
cause
I mean,
I don't make a lot of money.
I took my kid to a private school, and I can tell you what, his behavior got worse at the private school.
Huh.
He was a little shit and got into trouble all the time and disrupted class. Went back into public school.
Angel.
This
is the kid that I asked him if he wanted chips. He said, "No, thank you, Uncle Andy. May I please have a healthy snack?"
Yeah, healthy snack.
And I berated him for being a nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'd swear, and he'd say, "That's a naughty word."
He still doesn't swear.
Yeah, and then he goes to a private school and he mucks up.
Yeah.
I see, like, public school didn't really mess me up too much. It was more the public school trying to be more like a private school. Like, when they brought in harsh uniform policies and they brought in...
I got a uniform policy, like uniform detention, because I had a yellow stripe on my sock.
Yeah, I remember that.
And my mum went off at them.
I remember...
She went off at them. She's like, "You want me to call the fucking media over this? You are a fucking public school. Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, I used to...
Everything was fine. Like, wore my tie, tucked in, shorts.
I hated wearing that tie. I got in trouble for having facial hair. I was like, I'm 14, 15. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not going to shave every day.
no, exactly. But also, like,
I was blessed.
And the
I was
thing-
blessed to have facial hair in high school.
it was always like leaps and bounds of hypocrisy, because you'd have
Oh,
these
yeah.
teachers being like,
The teacher's saying,
don't wear makeup, girls,"
and they put it on with a fucking spatula.
and they caked it on. So,
But like,
to be fair, I think
I don't like the new schooling system. Purely like the kids after July go in the next year, and the kids before July go in with them, because then you have kids who are 18 in grade 12,
yeah,
and they get like, there's a kid who works with us now. He went to schoolies as an 18-year-old with tattoos and could legally drive and drink and
Yeah.
buy his friends alcohol.
yeah,
And it's like, back in my day, 10 years ago, we were in high school.
10 years
The-
ago.
Yeah, the kid who, the kid who was 18 in grade 12 was an idiot, and that's why he got kept back, because he was a big dum dum.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, some of them got kept back because they were born like December or whatever. But I was born December 23rd, and I fucking topped those classes.
Yeah, it's because you're.
Like you can't say because someone's
you were held
born.
back because you were age. You were born later in the year.
I was never held back.
No.
I was born December 1996. At the end of December,
Yeah.
I still went in with the class of 96, and I fucking outbeat half those dum-dums, even though I was less developed. But see, the thing is, it should be a kid-by-kid basis. Like, I don't understand why my kid should be, held back.
I remember.
It also makes me like, so I want to have more kids, right?
Yeah.
So my son's born September, so he's going to be not with that class. He's going to be in the next class.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, have a little fucking mental breakdown if I have another kid that's born at the start of the year, right? So they're 3 years apart, but they're
two
four
grade- They're 4 grade levels. Apart.
4 grade level. No. They'd be
There'll be
two.
3 grade levels apart.
4. They'd be no. If they're born at the start, they'd be 2 grade levels apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 grade levels. Yeah.
And then if I have another one that's like 2 years apart from that, and then they're 4 grade levels apart, or something like it just doesn't make sense in my brain. Like my brother's 2 years older than me. He was 2 grades above me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna have to have all my kids at the end of the year now.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's like when-
the years line up.
Well, that's like.
Otherwise, I'm gonna have a conniption because
I'm
I'm
going to
gonna
be
be like,
having my son born at the end of the year, and like that's going to be fine for me. But then the thing is, though, is I talk to people about my son, like in school,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh yeah, he's turning 8 this year. Oh, what is he in grade 3? No, he's in grade 2.
yeah,
He's born at the end of the year.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense
No, it doesn't.
because like back, we were the class of '96.
Yeah.
But if it was back then, we'd be the class of '96, '97.
Oh, dude, you know what doesn't make sense? So he was telling me the other day, he's like, oh, they make fun of grade 1s because they call them smelly now. And because apparently my wife forgot to put she put 1 and F because he's like 1, class like 1F, 1A, whatever.
Yeah.
He was in 1, she wrote 1F instead of 2F.
Uh-oh.
So they were making fun of him, calling him one like a first grader. And I was thinking, some of those first graders are the same age as you. What are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah.
Some of those first graders are turning 7. Like, that's just it. And some
Well,
of those second graders are turning 7.
Yeah. Well, the ones in his
Or
class
have turned 7
the ones in his class would be turning 7.
Yeah.
Next year.
this year.
This year. And he's turning 8 this
He's
year.
turning 8 the end of this year.
Yeah. So it's like
so confusing.
it doesn't make sense to me.
There's
It
kids
hurts my
turning-
brain.
There's kids turning 8 that were born in July 1st, and kids that are turning 7 June 30 go in the same class together.
Yeah. Look, my grandfather was a principal his whole life. Both my aunties are teachers. My mum's a teacher aide. My brother's a teacher. My whole family of teachers. Never once did they say, oh, you should keep Andy back because he's born at the end of the year. He might develop, a little later. He might be a little slower than the other kids.
Yeah.
They were worried that my friends would be 18 and out drinking and I wouldn't be able to do that.
No,
But that, that never really affected me because
that doesn't really stop.
I just understood. I was like, I'm 17 still, you're 18. Like that's how birthdays work.
But also,
If we all turned 18 as soon as it clicked over, then yeah, fine, whatever. But
it's funny sometimes.
that's not how fucking birthdays work.
how parents think that it's really going to stop you from drinking as well. Like,
I never
being
underage
18.
drank.
You never underage drank?
Never ever.
Really?
I never walked into liquor stores and never got carded because I had facial hair. Never ever. Never ever would I do that.
I stole a bottle of my mum's rum
Naughty boy.
for it was like a third of the
Naughty,
bottle left.
naughty boy.
I was like, I didn't
She had to
want
drink that
She had
rum
a full
dealing with
bottle.
you.
She had a full bottle. No, it wasn't drinking rum. It was cooking rum. So it wasn't just cooking rum. It was Bundaberg. It
No
was
wonder your
Bundaberg
mum
rum.
fucking drank because she had you as a kid.
My mum doesn't drink.
Yeah,
Well, she drinks only when she's out with the work friends. But that's it.
yeah.
She doesn't have alcohol at home.
Told you she never drank.
No, she doesn't drink.
Five kids all looking like you. Fucking, I'd drink too.
No, there's only 4 kids that look like us. The oldest 2 have
Doing
two
maths.
different
Doing
dads.
maths. Doing
Yeah.
maths.
Doing maths.
But here's the thing, right?
We got distracted.
I think big families are over. I
Yeah.
don't think anyone can afford a big family anymore.
Nobody can afford it.
Well,
I
I
was
think
talking
big
to-
families are a luxury these days because, like, if you have, oh, actually, no, it might not be.
I mean,
The more kids you have, the more dependents you can claim, right? Which
Yeah.
means the more subsidies you get.
but also, I mean,
I'm not saying
can't-
settling payments. I'm saying
Some
like,
people can't afford birth control.
yeah. But I'm not saying like settling payments. Like, oh, you're just having kids for the money. But like, if you have 4 kids, you get more subsidies because you can claim more dependents.
Yeah.
So maybe like, if you're a mid-income earner, maybe it's better off if you have the 3rd. Maybe that might get you a better subsidy
Or a 4th.
or a 4th. But then,
They make
You have
cheap. They make cheap
but
7 kids.
then you have to
7-seater
find a
cars, though.
fucking. You have to get a 7-seater car. You have to find a house that has 5 fucking bedrooms.
Buy a bunk bed.
Yeah, I guess that, like,
People don't have bunk beds anymore. When I was a kid, so I haven't.
I know kids with bunk
Family
beds,
of
but they
6.
have bunk beds so their friends can sleep over.
No, see, that's a rich person thing.
Yeah, I guess
I was in 3-bedroom houses with bunk beds.
But here's the thing, right? You're a young family, right? You don't want your kid sharing a room with a baby.
Yeah,
Right, you're a 3-bedroom house, okay? Room for mum and dad. You have 3 kids.
Baby sleeps with mum and dad.
Baby sleeps with mum and dad. You've got
they go
a boy
without
and a
sleep.
girl, and then the baby boy.
Yeah.
When the baby boy's like 12 months, do you put him in with the big boy?
Yeah, the thing is, though, that's the problem, isn't it?
Because then they're getting up in the middle of the night and they're waking up their brother or sister or whatever. I mean, once the kid's 4 or 5, you can put them outside in a tent, can't you? Hey,
Put a caravan back there.
you're just gonna sleep in the pillow fort tonight, mate.
Well, it's like, did you ever hear those stories on about the people dobbing in people with caravans in their backyard at the moment, stuff like that? Like people.
Yeah, well, there was that lady down south who wasn't she a single pensioner? Her husband died. She had like 12 acres or something, so she was letting single moms, domestic violence victims, all that come and live in caravans and tents on her property. And the council are like, they're illegal dwellings. You have to leave. Which I understand they're illegal dwellings, but also we're in a housing crisis, and she was offering for them to live somewhere.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you to have to dob it in as well?
It's
like, who in their right mind is going, I'm doing the right thing?
It's because a lot of people have this mentality of, yeah, but. So, like, I got caught doing something wrong. Yeah, but he's doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So like, I find politicians have this as well. So, like, Labor will get accused of something. They'll say, yeah, but LNP did that. It's like, yeah, okay, but you did this.
Yeah,
so
have some accountability.
And, like, LNP do the same thing. You say, hey, this is your policy. And they go, yeah, but this. And it's like, yeah, but no. Yeah. The yeah buts are getting, like...
They're getting too far. Even the Greens and everybody's doing it.
Yeah, but, like, see? Yeah, but... Here's the thing. Someone says, okay, so they might have just got dinged for, I don't know, they built a shed without getting council approval. Yeah, but my neighbour's got their kids living in a caravan out the back. That's dobbed in straight away. The council goes, they have what? Let me write that down. Okay, when we come and find you for your shed, we'll go and find them for their caravan. And then they go, yeah, but my parents are doing that with their friends. Oh, where do your parents live again?
Yeah.
It's the yeah buts. I got fined for doing something wrong. Okay, let me just shush. I'm not going to dob anyone in.
People are too comfortable being snitches.
Snitches don't get stitches.
Snitches don't have anything ever good happening.
Oh no, I put the chair on the cord.
Oh no.
Might have to buy a new XLR. It sounds fine. Still coming through.
Yeah.
Not my expensive, low noise professional XLR cables. From Rode. Rode. Hit the road, Jack, and never come back.
What are you looking at, Nina?
This fucking cat. Fuck you. Swear it wants to throw hands.
It does.
So we recorded, 5 or 6 podcasts before. Never aired. I don't particularly want them to air because I have to edit them because we're inexperienced.
Yeah. You don't know how to talk. We have gone off topic at least
that's fine.
But the thing is, though, is that we're random. We're critical. We're critically random.
Do you remember that period? It was like 2009, whatever, where it was like, oh my God, so random. Cat meow, raw. Raw means I love you, and dinosaur or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And like the dress, like I'll wear a fedora and a button-up shirt, but I'll wear a band T-shirt underneath and like old Converse Chucks.
I remember those phones that you could like slide up and it would be like a keyboard underneath. That was cool.
What were they called?
I miss those. I don't know. I never had one.
Flipster, Webster or something.
I don't know. They weren't Blackberries or anything like that.
I had a little brick phone and I broke it, so I didn't get another phone until I was like 13, 14 because I had to have one because I was walking home from school alone and Mum didn't want me to get raped. And then I got a flip phone that had a radio in the front. And that was the coolest fucking thing. It was a little Sony Ericsson, had a radio in the front, had its own special headphone port. They didn't have the 3.5 jack. It was just its own special port for the Sony Ericsson. And I could have my phone sitting there and it'd be playing the radio. That was so cool.
And Sony Ericsson?
Yeah.
Do you think anybody made the connection that Sony Ericsson was the first one with Bluetooth?
I remember you used
So
to
like
just,
they're both like
you used to just
Viking
open your
names.
Bluetooth in class, and someone would send you random things, and you'd be like, "Oh, what did you Bluetooth me? Oh, horse porn. Thank you."
Horsecock.
Yeah, that was, yeah, those were not the days, but you know. And like you say, oh, I want to get rid of my smartphone. I spend too much time on it. But then your boss is like, you have to clock in on your phone. You need to have WhatsApp so you're up to date with everything. You need to check your emails at work. That's like, oh, okay, so I have to have a smartphone.
And then you have to check your bank when you finish work and then see that you don't have any money.
Ooh, let me check. Let's do.
Is the
Let's see
tax
if my
in?
tax went in.
Probably not.
What was your tax return this year, Andrew? $2?
It was 300.
That's not bad.
Instantly went to debts and bills.
Yay. Oh, look. In my regular account, I have $3.23. In my do you want to know how much is in my savings account? Real juicy.
So $200.
Lower.
It's like $80.
What?
$80.
Lower.
Really? 50.
I'll give you the first digit.
What?
0. I have $0.52 in my savings account. I wonder what my interest will be at my 0.012% interest rate.
Dude, they took $5 off of me for my
Really?
debit entrance.
Yeah, that's rude. Yeah, and it's like, you know, I don't know. I feel like even 5 years ago, when I was earning half of what I earn now, I was more comfortable.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, if you think about it, when spaghetti, like, okay, I'm a bit of a snob with my spaghetti. I like the Heinz extra cheese spaghetti, right?
Yeah.
And the regular size tin that used to be the tin for one, but is now the tin for two
Yeah.
because of greedflation, shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation, greedflation.
So the tin that's now the tin for two that used to just be the regular tin and then was the tin for one, when that was on sale, you used to get it for $1.
Yeah.
Right. Now on sale, it's $2 or $1.90.
Yeah.
How is spaghetti on toast not even the fucking cheap meal?
I don't know. I don't even know anymore.
Like, if I buy a regular tin of spaghetti on sale for $2 and I buy a home brand loaf of bread, which is like $2.10 now or something, you know, how many nutritious meals do I get out of that?
Yeah, right.
Zero. And like, I mean, I when tins of corn went up, everything's just so expensive now. Like, I used to do 4 years ago, I used to do my grocery shopping. It'd
Spend
be
like $100 and feed us all.
$150. I'd feed 4 people for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm
That's buying Nutella and name brand shit.
well, no, I'd shop specials and I'd get home brand stuff and I'd, you know, buy in bulk or
We still buy Nutella though.
I don't.
No, back then.
Yeah.
Because we used to.
But like, I'd buy it on special. I'd
me
buy
and
the
your
big.
wife would fucking smother it on sandwiches.
Yeah, I'd buy it. Please don't say me and your wife would fucking smother it.
We're smothering sandwiches with Nutella.
Yeah, but what? I was earning $35,000 a year. My wife was earning like $10K a year. You were unemployed, and I fed you, my wife, your son.
Yep.
Paid rent on a house, internet, electricity, water, 3 phones, 3 fucking cars.
You had 3 phones?
Your phone, I paid your phone bill.
No, my phone bill was on credit then.
I paid for your credit though.
No, I didn't pay my
Yeah, I
credit.
remember I paid for your credit.
I think so.
I put fuel in your car.
Yeah, that one you did. You helped out with that one.
Yeah. 35 grand a year. I supported 2 extra people and a child, and I still had enough money to go to Melbourne and have a holiday and buy camera gear
Yeah.
and just, you know, live my life.
Yeah.
And you know what? I look at it now, I go, fuck, should have put money away.
You know why you didn't need to buy credit that much?
Because it went further.
No, because I didn't leave the house. So I used Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you were sitting at home being all depressed. But yeah, like, that was it. Like,
Yeah.
and now I earn double that, more than double that, and I got nothing.
Nothing.
It's like the money comes in, the money go out. I'm like, oh, look, $350 for groceries.
Yep.
And it's not like I just go to like Woolies. I go to Woolies and get the specials at Woolies. I go to Coles and get the specials at Coles. I go to Aldi and get the cheaper shit from Aldi.
You get the fruit market. And
I go to the fruit shop for cheaper fruit. And that's it. And it's not like I'm buying steak or something at Woolies. I'm buying the cheap sausages at Coles. I'm buying cheap chicken breasts at Aldi. I don't even buy bacon anymore. Bacon's not even cheap enough.
no.
If something's not on sale, I
feel
don't
like
buy
it's
it.
gone double the price.
I buy home brand oats. I don't even buy the ready quick oats
To be fair,
anymore.
that's all you need. They're the same oat.
Yeah. But it's much easier just to open a packet, put the milk
Oh,
into
like
the
the
line.
sachet things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Open the sachet, put the milk to the line, nuke it, easy peasy. Yeah.
But yeah, everything's kind of
The
shit.
cost of housing, the cost of living is just shit. And the thing is
Well,
like,
you know what's weird is, so our full-time rate, 5 years ago, $21 an hour, $20 an hour. I think we were on 2080.
something like that.
And then now we're averaging $26, $28 an hour.
Yeah, something like that.
So almost $8 to $5 more an hour. And
Income hasn't gone up enough.
it's worse.
But like the thing is like they're right in saying like you increase people's incomes, they're just going to increase the prices, which will increase inflation. What
Not
they
really.
need to do is
Not
they need
really.
to no. What they need to do is decrease corporate profits and decrease prices, so it comes in line with wages.
They needed to decrease someone's wages, which is the people in the millions,
The CEOs.
CEOs, because it's always a conversation
Then
of, if the workers' wages go up, then we're going to have to raise the prices.
That's like, nah,
But
dog.
What about your wage, sir?
You get paid way too. It's like those consultancy firms. You see that one consultancy firm said, "We get paid too much." What is he on? 300 million
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
And he's like, "I get paid too much." And then all the other firms were like, "No, we get paid appropriately for our labor." It's like no one's labor's worth that much. The
No.
only way to make that much money is to, The only way to make that much money is
get
to
my
profit
screen.
off someone else's labor.
100%. There's, what? What does it say in the Bible? a,
Don't bring that shit in here.
a camel is
Church,
gonna go through the-
Church and state separate. Leave
a
it like
camel
that.
will get through the eye of a needle. Was it? Yeah, a camel will go through an eye of the needle easier than a rich man will get to heaven.
Is that what they said?
Yeah, it says that in the Bible. I think I'm getting it wrong, but
I know the camel through the eye of the needle thing. Hang on. Let me voice search it using Google. Camel, eye of needle, Bible verse. There we go. Matthew 19:24. I'll say it again. It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven.
there you go. Because even the Bible, like even the fucking Bible knew a rich dude's got to do some shady shit to be rich, right? Or just live off of other people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the thing is like, the capitalistic dream, and what they tell you is anybody can be rich. You don't have to be poor. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Get to work. If you work, put in the effort, show that you're a keen, can-do guy, you will own the company one day. But really what it is some old fucking white dude sitting up there being like, yeah, pull up your bootstraps, mate. You'll be right. They're never getting anywhere.
No.
Because you know what you get for your overtime and for all the effort you put in and the extra hours and how much you care about the company? Nothing.
Nothing. Not even
You
gonna
won't get a
raise.
cent of that company.
Won't get a raise.
If you're giving them free labor, you're an idiot.
Oh yeah.
And if they say it's part of your job description, ask them to point to it.
Yep.
So like there's some places that have expected overtime. And the expected overtime, if these are air quotes, expected overtime. The expected overtime is usually, we expect you to finish what you're doing before you leave work. Which, in some jobs, generally, yeah, okay. Right? You're not going to just be like, in the middle of an email and be like, oh, it's 5 o'clock, see ya.
I mean, that's me though.
Yeah, useless
Be
cunt.
like, that's lunch.
Usually it's like, okay, I'll just press send on this email, or I'll hit save on this document, or I'll just finish nailing this up so it doesn't fucking fall down, or I'll pack up my equipment. You know, that's the kind of expected overtime. They're not like, it shouldn't be, hey, when you finish that task, I need you to do another task and not get paid for it. But I'm gonna be looking at you, champ, when it comes up for promotions in 3 months.
Yeah, and they say that to like 20 other people.
Yeah, and and they say, look, I don't really see you in this role. I think you're too you're too dependable in that role. And that's what happens is you'll be... Stop crinkling that bottle,
No, go
you
away.
white boy.
Leave me alone.
What will happen is you put in that extra work, that extra effort, you'll be irreplaceable.
Yeah.
They will depend on you to do that extra work and extra effort because they'll be like, hey, we don't need to hire someone extra because this dum-dum's doing that work of an extra person.
And then you get mad.
And then when they say, hey, there's a promotion coming up, and you say, hey, I want that promotion, they'll go, yeah, but we need you here so I don't have to hire an extra person.
Yep.
And then really it goes one of two ways. You leave because they fucked you, or actually it goes three ways. First way, you leave because they fucked you. The second way, they promote you because you say you're going to leave because they fucked you, and then they resent you, and then you end up leaving anyways.
Yeah.
Or nothing happens because you go, fuck them, but I need the money, so fuck it. I'll just stay here.
Well, that's apparently a lot of people, it's like the job market's slowing down. And that's what the problem is, like where people are like, fuck this, I'm going to leave. Oh, I got nowhere to go.
Well, I don't understand how the RBA was saying, look, unemployment's too low, and that's why inflation's high. It's like, dickhead, when you're unemployed, every motherfucker, everyone, your family, your friends, the government, random people on the street, they say, you're a lazy shit, get a fucking job. You get a job, and they say, hey, you're raising inflation, go unemployed.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
It does not make any sense.
It doesn't make sense why people want to cut back Medicare and stuff, because if you want a workforce to work until they die, which is what they want you to work until you die, so you can pay taxes, earn income, and be a value to society. They don't want you to be a burden on society.
Yep.
That's why they got rid of retirement. You retire when your super's big enough, which is probably never.
Oh, it won't be.
Right? So they want a workforce that works forever. Increase Medicare so your workforce can work forever. Because you have guys who are physical laborers, their bodies are fucking spent by the time they're 30, 35. Like, I see guys that are 30, 35 in the laboring industry, and they're going to fucking physios. They're on painkillers. Their back don't work. Their knees don't work. They've had 3 surgeries. And they're like, nah, we need to strip back Medicare so those cunts pay for it themselves. They're going to die at 50.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather them work until they're fucking 90?
Well, this is what Neville Chamberlain did post World War One in England, building the NHS, and
they've stripped that back to nothing now.
Stripped that back to nothing now. Look at where it is.
You know, my brother had to wait 7 months for a simple surgery in the UK.
Yeah.
7 months for a day surgery, and then they abused him because he was an immigrant. He's Australian.
Yeah.
He's still part of the fucking Commonwealth, and they're like, you're okay because you're white, but you're still fucking foreign.
Jesus Christ. And then, even pre-World War One Germany, like Bismarck set up health funds and retirees for the population because they realized that obviously a population will age and will need support, and then eventually a population is going to get sick and they will need medical funds. It's nothing new. This whole...
Yeah, but so I don't know. The LNP
and
are
that was a conservative government. Throw it back.
Yeah, conservatives these days, they're like, hey, look, pull yourself up, pay for your own fucking health insurance, but work. And they want those guys who are like the good old boys who are like, I hurt my back, but I carried 40 more bales. That's like, yeah, that's not good for you. Yeah, that's why you die at 60.
That's why he's dead by 40.
40, 60.
Yeah.
It's like, why are these people having cardiac arrests at 40? It's because they're working themselves to the fucking bone. The only reason they're functioning is the sausage roll and iced coffee in the morning, the 6 Vs during the day, and then the 20 beers at night to numb the fucking pain. But like the thing is like, and like people are complaining that they raised the tax on beer and cigarettes. And it's like, yeah, because they want you to stop it. Alcohol is poison.
Yeah,
You put poison in your body.
nothing different.
I know I've only been sober for 3-4 months, but like, do you know how free I feel?
Free?
And like, I'd have a beer,
Yeah.
and if I didn't drink enough water, you know, I'd feel shitty in the morning, or I'd have 6 beers, or I'd have 12 beers, and I'd feel like dog shit in the morning.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm like, And now I'm like, damn, I had coffee after 6 o'clock.
Pretty good.
Like, you know, the less shit you put in, the better you get out. But the thing is like, you know what's cheap? Shit. Processed.
Yeah.
Shit.
Shit.
Shit's cheap.
Yep.
And you know what? You got to eat cheap shit, and then you do a shit job because you're poor, and then your body's broken, and then you can't retire, and then you end up dying poor, living off your children.
Broken back when you're fucking 60.
Your only hope is that your kids get rich somehow, but then you can't give them the
Or
opportunity because you can't afford private schools.
Or your pets gain sentience and then you can send them off to work.
Yeah. All right. So if you enjoyed this or you hate this or whatever, please interact with it. Whatever platform you're on, like, rate. I don't care. You can tell us that we suck. Please do.
Please do.
Please tell us that our political opinions are awful. I want feedback.
We've been bullied our entire life. We will
Yes. I've been called an idiot every day of my life.
We come into work and we get called idiots.
Mm-hmm. You can be gay if you want.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says. You're a little sissy boy.
The F word.
No, I don't like the F word.
No.
Please don't use the F word.
No, they say the F word.
Yeah. I get called the F word because I have feelings.
Yeah.
Not a real man because you got feelings.
And you watch the Barbie movie.
Loved the Barbie.
Love the Barbie movie. Anyway, bye.
Yeah. All right. Bye. See us next time.